This week on CBS Mornings, former Attorney General William Barr, who of course was chosen by Donald Trump himself to protect Trump from the Mueller investigation, and Bill Barr did a great job of that. But Bill Barr came out and actually went after Donald Trump for his claims that the investigations are just witch hunts and I'm being treated so unfairly and everyone's against me and nothing is fair and everything is sad. Well, Bill Barr, again, Donald Trump's hand-picked attorney general who saved him from Robert Mueller, disagrees. And here is what Bill Barr told CBS Mornings this week. They approached this very delicately and with deference to the president. He then says the investigation would have gone nowhere if Trump had simply returned the documents when the government asked, but he jerked them around for a year and a half. There is no excuse for what he did here. Whether it's a crime or not remains to be seen. He then goes on and says, I've said for a while I think this is the most dangerous legal risk facing the president. And he goes on to say something else. I get to that in a moment because it's a little bit different. But what Bill Barr is doing here is trying to make sure that everybody in this country knows, listen, yes, Trump is claiming witch hunt. Yes, he's claiming there's a Trump-hating investigator in charge of this. But they have really handled this guy with kid gloves. They have done everything humanly possible to avoid an investigation in the first place. A year and a half, as Bill Barr correctly points out, they kept saying, dude, just give us the documents. Please give us the documents. Please, we don't want to do this. Just give them back. And he lied to them. He refused them. He wouldn't listen to them. He had his lawyers lie to them. So finally they said, all right, F it. Here we come, FBI. We're taking your crap because now you've pissed us off. We wanted to do this nicely. We wanted to do it quietly. We didn't want the public to know about it. You screwed up and you forced our hand, and by God, you're going to see what our hand has to deal. And he did. And then he got, of course, very sad and mad. Said, oh, now I'm being treated unfairly. You lied to the government, dude. They asked you nicely. All you had to do was say, oops, my bad. We wouldn't have even known about it. We wouldn't have known this happened if he had just complied with their initial request. Then he could have filled out the paperwork, gotten the documents back, and nobody would know. That's what would have happened. That's what Bill Barr is saying here. But then Bill Barr goes on to say something else about Donald Trump's electability. And this is what I find interesting. He said that Trump has a unique inability to attract voters, almost unique in his inability to attract voters. He repels people other than his core base. And I think that's an interesting point that needs to be discussed, at least for a moment, because Bill Barr is once again correct about that. Donald Trump, during his campaign, is not going out there and pulling new people into his rallies. He's not attracting new voters and new donors. It's the same people from last time, except it's actually a smaller core of those people because, let's face it, a lot of them are no longer with us thanks to COVID. And of course, thanks to Donald Trump and the other rest of Republican parties' flippant attitude towards COVID. There's a lot of members of Donald Trump's former base that are no longer on this planet. And you have a lot of people in his former base that are actually currently in jail for the Capitol riot. You have quite a few that have also just said, I can't do this anymore. I hate this guy. I'm done. So he's working with an ever-shrinking base that he is not replenishing with new Republican voters because he's not turning anyone else on with his same old boring, stupid, lying talking points. So I think that's an important point from Bill Barr there. And then, of course, the last point that Bill Barr made was, of course I'll vote for him if he's the nominee. I mean, why wouldn't I? I like his policies better than Biden's. So you admit that he's corrupt. You admit that he's a liar. You admit that he is pretty much a terrible candidate. And then at the end, you close it by saying, if he's our nominee, by God, I'm going to vote for him. And isn't that the story of all Republicans out there, folks? Oh, I'm sure we'll have a couple, maybe a Mitt Romney or two out there who say, well, I could never vote for Trump. But a lot of those never Trump Republicans, when the chips are down and they're in there in the ballot booth and they see Trump's name and they see Biden's name, they're gonna vote for Trump. And that is the biggest takeaway from this Bill Barr interview. This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos,
So do us a favor and subscribe.